This evening I've invited representation from our head elder, our lead deacons and deaconesses to sit with Carrie and get an update on how Carmichael is putting together a plan for our elder care in our church. So Carrie, I know that today you've spent quite a bit of time on this, so what's been going on? What does the future look like?
Well, it's been really a great day in calling people, not just on my homebound cares list, but really anybody who's in the elderly years. Now, we're not calling 65 to 75 elderly, but we do want to be aware and make sure that people know that we are available if they need help. And so I've actually just put together a list of people that I've called. I know Bobby sent out a note to the elders and just asking who in our church might possibly need some prescriptions brought to them or groceries brought to them. So in looking at this list and making a number of phone calls today, I was really delightfully happy to see that pretty much most of our church members in the 80s and 90s either have family right nearby or they have family living with them, and they're pretty well taken care of. There were a few that honestly said, no, we could actually use some help. And so I was very delighted to call an individual from our church. I have a list of people who are saying, hey, I want to help. If you need help bringing groceries or prescriptions, call on me. And so that's what we have as a group right here. And we're going to develop ongoing this list because honestly, we do not know how long this is going to be and who all is going to get the coronavirus. But as a church family, as a church body, we want to look out for each other. And so the list that I've compiled are mainly people either in their late 70s, early 80s to their 90s. And literally most all of them have good help right now with the exception of a couple people. Some people I've written out as saying, future check, keep checking, keep checking. And so that's what we'll do is we'll compile a list of people that will take turns saying, hey, you want to call so-and-so, just make sure that they're okay. So I'm just delighted that we are so far okay in our church with, with members finding that they're all right with not needing additional assistance.
Carrie, one of the things I think this has reminded us all of is that, one, we're in a really strong community.
Yes, we are.
And we're blessed to be in that community.
Yes.
But it also, I think, has reminded us that the importance of staying connected, the importance of knowing
who's missing.
If who hasn't been here for a couple weeks or who haven't we seen, and where some needs might lie. So I think that's really what we've been talking about in your outreach and my outreach to some of our elderly folks. Just letting them know we're here, we care about you, you're an important part of our community, and we want to make sure that whether it's medical needs, which we can't provide ourselves, but those everyday life needs, groceries, especially for people who really are trying to self-isolate and stay safe. Can we help with groceries? Maybe not today.
Yes, but maybe
But who knows how long we're going to be in this position.
Exactly.
Will they need supplies a month down the road or 2 weeks down the road? Medications, like you said. But just really, it's really, I think, about how can we stay connected as a community and be the arms and legs for other people.
I was just so delighted as I'm visiting with each of them, they were so appreciative, even though they're well taken care of. They go, oh, thank you for being a church that is watching over us. And so we want that to be conveyed because it's not just the next few weeks, it can be for months to come. And this is what we try to do in Carmichael anyway. We want to take care of those who need that extra help. And sometimes we may just need to call them up and say, hey, just thinking about you, we know that you're covered with food, but can we pray with you on the phone? That would just be a marvelous thing. Some of them are not able to figure out live stream and don't have that capability. So this is a tough time for some of them. So this is why we're going to keep our ears to the ground and do what we can to check up on different people, because every one of them said, well, have you checked on? So it's nice to have this list, and this list that I have made is just I'm sure is going to be a partial list, because it will probably keep growing. Yeah. So thank you for being willing as deaconesses and deacons and elders to help in this care.
You know, Bobby, when you said community, it's one of those times that I have to make sure we understand that in this context, we're talking about our church community.
Yes.
We don't have the resources, we don't have the manpower to reach out to the broader community. Right now, our food bank is still operating. Yeah. We had a tremendous turnout today of some younger church members, because we've actually encouraged many of our retired members who have been maintaining the food bank to stay home. So we had a number of younger families come in today. They'll be showing up again on Wednesday. So we are still reaching out to the community beyond our church memberships, but in this particular elder care program, we are focusing in exclusively, I need to say it that way, exclusively on our church members. I think to your point, helping us stay in contact is going to be best if people streamline the information through the church office. If you're concerned about somebody, call the church office.
They can contact.
We may not have time to respond to each of your phone messages, but if you leave the name, the number of somebody you're concerned about, we will guarantee that we're going to follow up on that person. We may not have time to get back in touch with you, but please send that information into the office.
Yes, that will be helpful.
Yeah.